Hey, you. Yeah, you. The majority of you are not subscribed to this channel, so take a second, hit the subscribe button. I appreciate you more than you know. Our guest for today has never had a run-in with the law, ever, ever, all right? He's always paid his taxes early, and if you ever owed him money, he'd send you a thank you card. And if he ever told you to forget about it, trust me, you forgot about it. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Franzese. Michael, thank you for being here.
That was the best intro I ever had.
Ever in the history of...
Because you're right on, spot on.
Like, you see cops, you're like, who are these people?
Right on.
So, Michael, you literally just flew in right now. Where'd you come from? Where were you?
Cleveland.
England?
Cleveland.
Oh, Cleveland. Yeah. I'm gonna need hearing aid. Oh, that's Malik's from Cleveland. You got somebody cheering in the back.
Still got the guys over there. You know, have to visit and say hello every once in a while. You know.
So wait, what were you doing over there?
I had met with a couple of guys.
Oh, really?
Sit down. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And what was it about? If you don't mind me, I don't want to get...
Good stuff. None of that.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, so let me ask you a question, though, Mike. So, because a lot of people nowadays, they're like, bro, you know, the mafia's gone, the mob is gone. But I mean, if you know anything about the life, if you've ever studied it and researched it, like Pat and me, and like I grew up in Yonkers. I grew up around these people. For people that don't get it, it's not like once they stopped everything and everybody went to jail, it's as if everybody turned in their freaking mob cards. So no. So what's going on?
Not dead, you know, very much alive, just different.
Gotcha.
You know, I always say this: the RICO Act really did a lot of damage to that life, but it's never going to it's not going to go away in my lifetime. That's for sure. Guys are still there. They're doing things differently. They're kind of flying under the radar, smart, you know, but they're still there.
Gotcha.
Still there.
And Cleveland, well played. Why?
Cleveland was a big, you know, a big spot there. Really.
Really.
Big family. Oh yeah, yeah. And it's still, you know. It's funny, I live out in California now, but as soon as I get back east in any way, it's like you go right back into the groove.
Right back into it. So, and let me ask you a question, Michael. Is it a lot of the sons and cousins of the other families, or
Pretty
is it
much, yeah.
just people in still?
Pretty much, yeah. A lot of guys that, you know, whose dads or whatever, so many guys went to jail, and then the younger guys took over, and, you know, but they're still there. But they're doing things smart, I have to say it.
Good.
You know, when I was in the life, there wasn't a day that went by in New York, not one day, when there wasn't a story in the New York Times, the Newsday, Daily News, New York Post. Now, every 6 months, maybe you see a story. Maybe. So, you know, things have really calmed down.
Good. Being smart, making money, obviously, the right way, and keeping your nose clean. So, Mike, for people who are watching that may not know, if they are, you guys have been under a rock for a very long time. Your father, God rest his soul, Sonny Franzese, was the underboss of the Colombo crime family, correct? And then you became a captain yourself and became one of the biggest earners in the history of the mob. So growing up in that life, Michael, when did you start realizing, like, hey, my dad is different than Connor's dad? Like, what was the moment where you started realizing as a kid? Because I'm trying to figure out what age too, where you're like, okay, my dad's this guy. My dad's not normal.
This is going to sound crazy. We lived in Brooklyn. And for some reason, I was 5 years old. My dad moves us out to my grandmother's in Long Island.
Okay.
We're there for a couple of days. She's not around, right? I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, one day, he comes, it's early in the morning, maybe 8:30 in the morning. He comes to my grandmother's house. His right-hand guy, Joey Brancato, was out on the porch because I seen him walking around back and forth like that.
Yeah.
My father comes in, he hadn't shaved, and he's got a heavy beard.
Yeah.
He hugs my mother, she's kind of crying a little bit, and then he comes over to me. You okay, son? This and that, and he gives me a hug. He's there maybe 20 minutes, and then he's gone. I'm saying, what the heck is going on? I didn't know. What I didn't realize and found out, because I heard little things, that was the first Colombo Gallo War. Oh. And my dad was gone, he was involved in that war.
Yeah.
So he was gone for, you know, probably a couple of weeks, if I remember at that time. But that's the first time, and Vinnie, I remember that like it was yesterday. Vivid. You know when some things just hit you?
100%.
Because what was going on here?
Yeah.
And then it never stopped because my dad was such a high-profile guy. He was a John Gotti of his day. Always under investigation, law enforcement around, always getting arrested, going to trial. So I knew from the time I was a kid, you know, that there was something up with him.
And 5 years old, so Mike, at 5, I mean, 5 is, I think that's when I first came online, and I'll never forget. I tried to cross the street in Yonkers, and my mom, I'll write about that age 4 or 5. She grabs me, puts me in the middle of the street, and all my aunts are like, no. She's like, leave him there. My mom's a saint, by the way. And I'll never forget Michael standing there and looking at her, and she's like, you stay there. Cars are trying to come, but they're stopped. just to teach me that
Right.
lesson. Like, hey, that's that moment.
Old
So
school.
that's it. So Michael, in that, so this is Joey Gallo? Is that
It was Joey Gallo.
Joey Gallo was the.
Well, it was him and his brother, Kid Blast. There was and Albert. There was 3 of them at that time.
Got you.
And they went to war against Joe Colombo, and it was a whole big thing.
And so when you see your dad with the beard, that's odd because your dad's normally clean shaven.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
So that means what? He was just they're hiding out and they're
Yeah.
getting wow.
Went to the mattress as they
Went to the mattresses. Yeah, exactly. For you guys that don't know, that means you got to freaking
Yeah.
lock up. So in school, Michael, did the kids and the teachers and everybody treat you differently? Like, did they know who your father was? I'm pretty sure a parent-teacher conference where your dad's like, hey, my son's doing good, right? Can you imagine? Like, hey, you see that C? Make that an A.
No, I'll give you even one better.
Oh, go ahead.
I played Little League Baseball.
Yeah.
I was an athlete in school, played all 3 sports. So my dad would always come late to the game, but he'd always come.
Yes.
Never miss a game. But how does he get there? Big black Cadillac or black Lincoln.
Yeah.
You don't remember, but those 60 Cadillacs, 1960, their fin was it was bigger than this whole room.
Yeah.
So he never go in the parking lot. He pulls right up to the field. He gets out of the car. He's always got 5 or 6 guys with him, right? They walking into the stands.
So
Everybody's looking. I swear to God, Vinny, I'm up to bat. The umpire would never call strike 3 on me. When he see my father, he used to say, "Hey, Pop, you're very good for my batting average."
Dude, that is so freaking funny.
So the bottom line is everybody knew. He had so much publicity. It was crazy. I'm telling you, it was like John Gotti in that day.
Every day.
day.
Did you have protection for yourself? Like, did they have somebody? Because I know, like high-profile guys like Pat and everybody. Sometimes when they're like stuff's happening, Charlie Kirk, God rest his soul, he got security because
We had guys around all the time.
Oh.
My dad's friends were always around, and they were made guys. I didn't know it then what it meant, but yeah, he always had people around.
So, Mike, you in school, were you straight A? Like, besides the funny stuff with the dad, but like, what was your?
I had good marks, but I had bad conduct.
Got
I
you.
was one of those kids, you know.
Got you.
And my mother, I tell you, difference then. You know, you go to if your mom is called to the school to the principal.
Oh, it's over.
Hey, do what you got to do. You
Oh,
know, take care of
hit
this
'em
kid.
if you have to.
If you have to, hit him.
Yeah.
And I had nuns, and
Oh,
they
my God.
didn't spare the rod.
Oh,
Forget it.
look, because they do the.
Oh yeah.
They do the hitting on the hand.
Yeah, and my mother said, do it. Teach them.
That's so funny. So at what age, Michael, did you know like this is what I want to do? Because I know that you went to pre-med, you were in Hofstra.
Yeah.
Correct. So like was that your dream? Was that what you wanted to be? Or like how did that? Because I'm very curious to what the dream was and how did the pre-med
I'll
come
tell you
about?
what. I think my dad and mom wanted that more for me than I wanted it for myself.
Got you.
My dad, you're going to be the first professional in the family, you know, because I was a pretty good student in that regard. You're going to be a doctor. They drummed it into my head early on.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going that route, and I'm doing okay. And then things changed when he got really
Yep.
jammed up with a big case. And then things changed for me.
Yeah. So you're in pre-med, and then Mike, because of your father going, you as a man step up and you're like, I got to make money for my family, for your mom and everybody. So that do you have like any resentment towards that? Because I know your father, God rest his soul, he even said, he's like, I don't want you in this life.
Right.
But you were kind of forced into it. So do you have any resentment for it? The trajectory was this, Mike, because you were going. I mean, I know your life is amazing. God bless you. You're doing well. But that trajectory changed and went completely the other route. Because you could have been Dr. Franzese right now.
You know, Vinny, I don't have regrets or anything because I'm going to be honest. I never wanted to be a mob guy. It wasn't like, you know, a lot of guys, they'll tell you that, you know, in Brooklyn, they grew up and they seen the mob guys on the corner. Hey, I want to be like that.
Yeah.
Well, I grew up with it. And I love my dad. I idolized him. But I wasn't really, you know, I don't have to be a mob guy, you know, go to school. If you would have told me what I wanted to be when I was a kid, I wanted to play center field for the New York Yankees. Mickey Mantle was my idol, right?
Yep.
But so I didn't have that in my head. This is what I need to be. I got to follow my dad. But you got to understand, he goes to trial 3 times in the state of New York.
Yep.
Twice for grand larceny, once for murder. He gets acquitted on all these cases. But this is going on for years.
Yeah.
So I'm attending trials. I'm watching him doing all of this, hating the government, hated law enforcement, hated them, right? And then he gets pinched on this big bank robbery case. He goes to trial, gets convicted. They give him 50 years for ordering the bank robberies, allegedly ordering the bank robberies. It was like 50 years. My dad was 50 when he goes in.
Jeez.
How's he going to survive that?
You're not.
Same time, Joe Colombo, who was the boss of our family, we were very tight, sons and everything else, he starts the Italian-American Civil Rights League. You know, they're harassing Italians. I see it as a way to help my dad get out of prison. Otherwise, he's going to die in there, right? I get very close with a lot of my dad's friends. They're speaking to me differently now. We're walking a picket line in front of the FBI building in New York. And I'm saying, I'm not going to school, because they're saying, if you go to school, your dad's going to die in prison. That's in my head.
Of course.
What do I do to help him out, right? So I go see him in Leavenworth. We're in a visiting room. Dad, I'm not going to school. Mind is made up. He got mad.
Of course.
Oh, you're going to, I have these aspirations for you. I said, Dad, it's too late. Now I was a headstrong kid. He knew that. So, Vinnie, I'll never forget. He kind of sat there. He just went back like this. He threw up his hands. He said, okay, son, but if you're going to be on the street, you're going to be on the right way. And his mind, the right way was to be a member of his life. And that's when I don't want to be offensive on here, but I like to be honest. He said, I got to ask you one question, son. I said, what? He said, I want a true answer. Don't look to please me. I said, what's the question? He said, if you ever had to kill anybody, could you do it? So, never asked anything like that, never thought about it, honestly, but I just sat back and I said, Dad, under the right circumstances, I believe I could do it. He said, that's the right answer.
Boom.
That was it. So then you know what he says? Go home, somebody will be in touch with you, do whatever you're told. He didn't say another word to me.
Wow.
I want people to understand, people think when you take that oath, you're taking an oath to lie, steal, murder. That's not the oath. The oath of omerta is silence. You're never even supposed to admit that the life exists, ever. My dad, if he's anything, he was the best soldier around. He wouldn't violate that policy even with me, his own son. He never sat down with me and said, this is what the life is all about. Everything I knew about my dad, from the newspaper, from observation, from others, never from his lips. And even then, he wouldn't violate. Just go home and do what you're told, right? And I didn't even question him. I love my dad. I said, Dad, whatever you tell me to do, I'm ready to do. And boom, he proposed me, and because you can't go up to somebody and say, yeah, I'd like to join. Somebody,
like a gym membership, you walk in like, hey guys, I saw the sign.
So somebody has to propose you, and in our life, there's a lot of nepotism. Fathers bringing their sons in. That's how it started for me.
Wow, but Mike, it's fun because I would just thought if it went the other way and you're a doctor, I just think it'd be so intimidating to have someone like you walk into a room and be like, listen carefully. Like you're a cardiologist. You got two choices. You lower your blood pressure, or I'm going to prescribe you some meds that you can't refuse. Like, okay, I'm going to take the med. You like that one, huh? Yeah, that was a good one. All right, so Michael, you leave school, and now you're out, and now you're in it. You're in it. What's the first, actual money-making operation that you either started, Michael, or they got you in that set it off?
Okay. So I get proposed, and I'm 20 years old, 21 years old. Like clockwork, I don't know how it happened. Boom, I get indicted 5 times.
How soon into it?
Within a year.
Oh, damn.
They're all over me, right? I get indicted for grand loss, all state cases, all state cases. So for about a year and a half, I'm on trial, 21, 22 years old, as I'm doing my job, my recruitment job to become a member. So after that, I'm flat broke. Spent all my money, all the money we had at that time on attorneys. I'm done, right? Flat broke.
Yeah.
So I beat all of these cases, and then 1975, Halloween night, that's the night I got made, 50 years ago, believe it or not.
Oh, wow, really?
50 years ago, yes, 50th anniversary.
Wow.
Whatever. But, and now I got to start all over, right? I got to get myself going, from school to now the street. And Vinnie, I'll be honest with you. Oh man, this looks good.
Look at this. Look at these. Look at this.
I live in California. We don't have diners out
No
there.
diners.
No.
And I love how we're
This is a treat.
I love how we're talking about some serious, hey, freaking mafia. It's like, hey, thanks for the blueberry pancakes. Thank you. Mike, you mind if we pray really quick before we eat?
Please do.
Dear Lord, thank you for the food that we're about to eat and the hands that made it. Thank you, Lord, for Michael's life, his family, Lord. Please have your hand over him, protect him in the ups and downs. And from all the past, Lord, forgiving us for our sins, but leading us into the future, and fill our hearts with your spirit, Lord. And for all the people out there that don't have anything to eat, Lord, make today a little bit easier. And all the fans, all the people watching this, Lord, let them know that you are the way, you are the truth, and the life, and no one comes to the Father except you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Beautiful.
All right, Michael, I love you, bro. So yeah, please continue.
So what happened, I'll be honest with you, Vinnie, I was fortunate in that I had a good sense of the life right away, I guess growing up in it, and I knew how to use that life to benefit me in business. And that's what I did. I was very aggressive.
Who taught you the business savvy? Was just in you? How do you learn that?
I think some of that is just innate. I really mean that.
Okay.
Just some ideas that I had, and I kind of grasped right away, hey, I could really use this to my advantage if I do it right. And not by shaking down people or anything like that. Look, sometimes you walk into a room, people know who you are. You don't have to do any more than that. You don't have to put the arm on them or shake them down. I use that to benefit me in the right way. And we could spend the next 10 hours talking about that.
Yeah.
But and I just started bringing some things in that, you know, we were making money.
And that was it. And then the rest is history.
The rest is history. And of course, you know about the whole gas thing.
Yeah, obviously. Which,
we'll get to that.
yeah, yeah, we'll get to that. And gas, trust me, I get it. And my attitude, because Mike, I have this question for later, but I might as well ask it now. How mad does it piss you off that the system, the Department of Justice, the FBI, goes after people like you with all this vigor and all this craziness? Meanwhile, they are the most corrupt, disgusting, perverted, pedophile. Like, if you just remember in Congress, I think it was 3 months ago, Michael, where they voted 360 something to 60 to cover up all their sex crimes and all the this. Look at all the stuff with, you know.
Plus, they have a fund.
They have a fund
they have a fund to pay them off.
Is that, like, how bad does that piss you off that they're, by the way, they name one of them that goes to jail. I haven't seen one person go to jail. With you guys, life, death, die in jail. We don't care.
No, you're right. Life. No question about it.
Life.
No question
If
about it.
it's RICO, it's life.
They want to kill us.
Yep.
You know, the latest thing that got me, Vinnie, not to divert.
No, it's all good.
I did 29 months and 7 days in solitary confinement.
How long?
It's 29 months and 7 days. 6x8 cell, 24/7, right?
Jeez.
For nothing. I was never a problem in jail, never had it. It was administrative detention. They kept telling me every 90 days they're supposed to renew it and let you out. Every 90 days they kept me in. Almost 3 years. And nobody ever apologized to me. This judge apologizes to the guy that wants to kill the president for putting him in solitary for one night?
I just saw that.
I couldn't believe it.
Oh my goodness. That must drive you freaking nuts.
I could not believe it. Here's a guy that was ready to kill himself. Right?
Oh, yeah.
He knew he was going to die or he was going to
100%.
spend the rest of his life in jail.
Yep.
And you're not worried about what he's going to do to himself in there? Come on.
It's funny that you bring that up. I was just talking with Maverick yesterday. I'm like, if you really think about it, Michael, that assassination attempt, and say what you want, people are like, he was far away, he couldn't get to him. Listen, you have to be illiterate to read the manifesto and not go, okay, this guy is obviously off, he's brainwashed, but he was going to kill the president. But in my head, I'm like, bro, that is a suicide mission. You run out of a
100%.
room with the shotgun barrel down, and you're just running towards what?
100%.
15 law enforcement? You're gonna get freaking popped. That's what you wanted to do.
You don't have to be a mobster, former mobster, to know that.
Yeah.
The guy was looking to kill himself. He knew he was going down one way or the other.
100%. 100%. And the fact that they're trying to downplay it. No, he wasn't specifically trying to go after the press. It's like, bro, read the damn thing he's saying.
He
When you
said
say,
it.
yeah, pedophile, this, that, stupid. It's like,
It was not only that, Vinny. He said, I want to kill the president and anybody around him and his staff. I don't want to kill innocent, I'm summarizing.
Yes.
I don't want to kill innocent people, but if they get in the way, they're going to go down. He said it.
yeah, yeah. But,
And you're worried about putting this guy in a hole for one night.
Yeah. One night, Michael, I can't even, 29, like, I hope people understand that. 29 months, that's 2.5 years?
Yeah.
2.5 years.
2.5 years.
How,
In solitary.
solitary, how many hours a day are you allowed to leave the cell?
Here's the rule. By policy, not by law, in the Bureau of Prisons, they're supposed to give you 5 hours a week in the yard. Now, the yard is just a fenced-in place for one person at a time. You can't be around other inmates. By policy, not by law. So what do? The COs are lazy.
Of course.
They come to you at 3 in the morning. Hey, Franzese, it's yard time. You want to go? You're sleeping, right? Oh, no, 3. No, I like to go at 2. Oh, you're refusing the yard? And they write it down that
Wow.
you refuse. So you barely get out.
Oh,
This
man.
is what they do, because they don't want to watch you out there.
Oh, that's so, you know what, it's just frustrating me because it's like the projection. You know what I mean? I saw Obama right before I came on here, he was sitting with, what's the late night guy? Not,
Which one?
Not Kimmel, the other, Stephen Colbert.
Oh, yeah,
He's
Colbert.
literally like, you know what, we need to stop this government going after political enemies. If that's not the pot calling the kettle black.
They
you're
invented it.
You invented it. You were spying on Trump. It's insane to me, Michael. It drives me crazy. So back to the life, because Mike, trust me, we're gonna get into that in a little bit. When you're in that life, Mike, you have everything, brother. You have the money, you have the influence, you have everything. What's more addictive? Is it the money or is it the power? If you had to pick one, what's the one that you're like, you know what? This is what feels better. Because I mean, money's money, Mike. I would think that it would be the power, especially if people like never really had money, but then they come into money. But the power, I feel would be the one that's more addictive. What do you think?
You know what, Vin? To really answer that, I'll give you an example. I'm 4 years into the whole gas thing. We're bringing down a couple of $1 million a week, right? I got a jet plane, a helicopter, the whole bit. So somebody comes up to me, he says, Michael, you're so far ahead. Another guy. He says, why don't you stop now? You got all the money you'll ever need, stop now. And I thought about it and I said, you know what? You get as much jail time for $1 million as you do for $1 billion. So why should I stop? So I guess it was the money. Because I never, the power, it's there, you got it. You carry yourself right, people respect you, and you can do a lot of different things. I guess it's the money, because why should I stop,
Yeah.
And where are you going to spend it? It's not like I don't want to buy another building, I don't want to buy another plane or anything. It's just the game. It was the game. I mean it. And of course, I'm living good, don't get me wrong. But, and look, there was a time when my father's dream for me, once I got into that life, he says, son, you're going to be a boss one day. He says, bide your time, play it right. Because, he's in and out of jail, violating his parole, back and forth. He does 40 years on that 50. 40. He came out 5 times on parole violations, in and out. But he said, you're going to be the boss of this family. He said, just bide your time. I don't know if I really wanted that. Do you know why, Vin? One thing I didn't like, this is not fun. I'm flying to California, I got my own plane, I got a helicopter, I got a house down here on the water with 2 boats in my backyard. You think I want to spend my life in a social club in Brooklyn on Carroll Street?
With a bunch of guys playing cards?
No, a bunch of guys that are in trouble every minute.
Yeah.
You got to be bailing them out.
Yeah.
I'm looking to run away.
Yeah.
When I used to go out to California, people used to come to me, Mike, how is it out there? Oh, terrible. You don't ever want to go. I didn't want anybody to follow me.
Of course.
I tell them, no, stay away. They're crazy out there,
Yeah.
So that's not what I wanted. I mean, it came with the territory. You get treated good. I had a lot of guys around me, but I think the benefit of the game is what got me. The comfort, the convenience. It wasn't the power. I didn't want to be the boss. I really didn't.
But sometimes
big responsibility.
I can imagine, like sleeping. Like I can't even imagine if you don't have the proper security, just freaking trying to sleep at night. Because you're always, because Mike, you don't travel with you're leaving in the grace of God, which I freaking absolutely love, which I want to get into actually. You were raised Catholic, Michael.
Raised
you
Catholic.
Obviously strayed away from the path, just like I did. I'm Assyrian, so we're Orthodox, old school. I think the only difference, Michael, really is when it comes to confession, we don't go in the, and I'm pretty sure people in the chat that are theologians are going to get involved. We don't. There's a part of our mass where the priest just says, "Hey, right now, take this moment. We're going to be quiet and do your confession right here. Yes. Talk to him." So, do you remember, Mike? Because you're back. You're a hardcore Christian. You're doing that life. What was, the moment? Do you remember the moment that brought you back? Because I don't know if you know that. I know they've heard this multiple times. It was by accident for me. I'm going through it, and some guy at my office at Valuetainment goes, "You're coming to church with me on Sunday." I said, "Okay." And Michael, I'm in the back. It's non-denominational. I don't know what altar call is, but he's like, if you're here ready to give yourself for Christ, come to the front. And Michael, I felt the Holy Spirit was like, it's time. Go. Broke down, crying. Pat was there recording. I didn't notice it. What was your moment where you're like, this is it? Because I surrendered. Like that was the moment where I'm like, the flesh, like the girls, the drinking, the partying. It's so hard to just go, I'm done. And because once you go all in, it's over. It's over in a good way.
I know. Yeah. Well, it's funny that you bring this up now because I came from before I was here. I was in Pittsburgh and then Cleveland. But Cleveland, I met with some guys, but in Pittsburgh, they brought me in to speak at a Catholic church.
Oh, wow.
And I probably have done 2,000 events in the last 30 years. I've only done 4 Catholic events. Every one have been great. This father, priest, had such an impact on me. He was such a nice guy, and I just, spending time with him 2 days ago was really, because I had a different concept of, look, I went to Catholic school from kindergarten right through high school. I was an altar boy the whole bit. But for me, for some reason, Catholicism was like a subject in school. I didn't understand about a relationship with Jesus and all of that. And I want to be kind to our Catholic brothers and sisters. We serve the same Jesus.
100%.
He's our Savior,
Yep.
100%.
Yep.
We practice differently, and we have some different, I don't want to call them policies or whatever.
Rituals, so to speak?
Ritual, yeah. For a Christian, there's nobody in between Jesus and us. That's
100%.
it. There's no saints, there's no confession
No.
to nothing. I happen to love that. I love it's me and Jesus. It's us and Jesus. But my moment was this. You know, I'm married to my wife now 41 years, young Christian girl. She originally brought me to Christ, her and my mother-in-law, who was a prayer warrior.
Great.
But my real encounter was with him. Go down on that whole racketeering case. I get a 10-year sentence. I do 5.5 years. I make parole. I'm out 13 months. Tough time. People are mad at me. I walked away from the life. I got a lot of headaches. The FBI is still on me to become a witness. So I'm going crazy. Like a fool, I'll be honest. I fall into a trap. I violate my parole. The feds were so mad at me because I wouldn't cooperate the way they wanted me to.
Yeah.
I sat down with them, but I wouldn't cooperate. We're not putting anybody in jail.
Of course.
And so they've had it with me. I'm coming out of a bank in Southern California. They picked me up, leaned all my bank accounts, drove my car away, went to my house with a search warrant, cleaned us out, went into my wife's purse, took every penny.
No way.
Said, you don't work, this is your husband's money. We indicted him on another RICO case. We violated his parole. They told my wife, you'll never see your husband a free man again. And they're bringing me down to the lockup. And they said, Franzese, we had it with you, you're done, we're indicting, the whole bit, right? They throw me in that 6x8 cell that night in the LA County federal jail. They're gonna transport me back to Brooklyn where my case was in the morning. And Vinnie, that night, I was done. I was a guy that I always had the answer. I'll figure it out. But that night I said, another RICO case? I said, you don't beat those cases with a public defender. I spent millions defending myself, right? I said, my wife, she waited for me. She's 27 years old. We had 2 little babies. She waited for me for 5.5 years, 13 months on parole. She said, I'm going to lose the girl I did all of this for. You know, she's not going to wait for me now. And I said, they're not going to put me out on the yard. I got people upset with me on both sides. I'm going to spend the rest of my life in this cell. I was a tough night for me.
I can imagine.
Tough night. And you know, I don't know if you ever felt this way, but I ever felt every emotion in life you can feel. I'm sure you have to.
Of course.
Ecstasy, right down to grief,
Yeah.
everything in between. I found out hopelessness, the worst. When you feel you got no answers, that was it, done. I'm laying there and I'm saying, man, I visited my father 20 years. I got to have my people. I'm done. I said, take me, God.
Oh.
Yeah. And maybe it was a sign of weakness. And I even felt, you know, I used to demean people that were suicidal. I call them weak.
Yeah.
You don't face up to your troubles. I don't do that anymore. Now, I wasn't that brave. I'm
Yeah.
not killing myself, but
Yeah.
I'm laying there. I want to just leave me alone. And this prison guard walks by my cell. He opens a slot and he says, you okay? You don't look good. And I said, hey man, get away from me. I chased him.
Yeah.
He comes back a minute or two later and pushes a Bible through the slot on the door. And I picked up that Bible and I just threw it against the cinder block wall.
Wow.
I said, I don't want a Bible.
Yeah.
Right? And then I picked it up and I said, you know what? I got nothing but enemies. I don't need another enemy in God. I believed in God.
Yeah.
You gotta be crazy not to believe in God.
Of course.
And I just started reading the Bible that night. And the first 2 verses that hit me were right here.
Proverbs 16:7 and 3:5-6.
And Proverbs 16:7, when a man's ways are pleasing to the Lord, even his enemies are at peace with him. And the Holy Spirit spoke to me that night. And you know what I did? I said, you know what? If I'm going to die in this cell, you got to show me Christianity is the way to go. Vinnie, for the next 29 months and 7 days, I know my Bible. You see my prison Bible? There's more of my notes on there than there is
I can
scripture.
imagine. That's the book you got.
Inside out and
Yeah.
upside down. My wife sent me every book you can imagine on every faith, and she sent me all these Christian books. I'm very into defending my faith.
Good.
And I came out of there believing 100%, 1,000% that the Bible was God's word and Jesus was my risen Savior. And that was from 91 to 94 I was in all, to 95, I'm sorry. And ever since then, look, you tell me if this is a coincidence.
Okay.
Tell me a coincidence.
Go ahead.
And this is the truth. And I'm not
believe.
making up a
Trust
little,
me, I believe.
not even one segment of it. 1991, I'm on parole. I had walked away from the life. People were upset with me. My father didn't want to talk to me. He calls me up. He was on parole. He said, just like this, you need to stop the BS. The family's going to war, and we need you back here, right? I said, Dad, you know the situation I'm in. I'm on parole. He said, I don't want to hear it. Get back here. You can't betray this family like that. You took an oath. He's telling me on the phone. My father would never even speak on it.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say.
That's how serious it
Yeah.
was, right? So he made me feel so bad. I felt like a betraying my family. I felt like a coward, right? So for a day and a half, almost 2 days, I'm planning how to lie to my wife, violate my parole, go back there because I wasn't allowed to leave the state, go back and try to situate things, then come back, right? 2 days after I make that decision, I'm walking out of the bank, and that's when I get arrested.
Wow.
The war rages on from 91 to 94, right? I'm in the hole from 91 to 95. What happened? 13 guys got killed.
Jeez.
18 guys became informants. 63 men went to jail. And I'm in the hole. God saved my life, basically.
100%.
Something would have happened.
Which category you would have fallen in?
100%.
Probably the
100%.
first or the second.
Exactly. So then the way this happened, I get out. Now listen to this. The night I got made, 6 of us. I'm the only one alive. I was in 75.
Wow.
They're all dead, either in prison or got murdered. 2 of them got murdered during the war, right? Fortune magazine writes this huge article, 50 biggest and most powerful mob bosses in the country. In '86 they wrote, I don't know if you read it. Half the magazine, huge article, right? They feature 6 of us. I'm one of the 6. They have a chart with the 50 of us on there according to rank, wealth, and power.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
I'm number 18, I'm the youngest guy in the list.
Yeah.
And a stupid list. How did they make a list like that? You know, I didn't ask for our tax returns. They
exactly.
made it up, right? But here's what's not stupid. Out of the list of 50, 48 of them are dead. Number 49 is doing life in prison. I'm the only guy alive. So you put all of these things together, let me ask you, did God have a different plan and a purpose for me?
100%.
I have death threats, the FBI's telling me I'm gonna get killed, all these people are upset with me. And here I am. I don't want to say I don't always have security because, you know, when you're a public figure, sometimes you got to watch yourself. But I go freely everywhere. Something's up.
Well, I agree with it 100%, Michael. The COVID, ending COVID, I'm in LA, stand-up comedy's done, people aren't performing, we're in miserable, it's horrible. You know, I can't tell my mother what's going on, I'm lying to her. No, Mom, I'm all good, but I'm out drinking, I'm out partying and all that stuff. And and I think I told this story before, it's a night where I'm headlining a comedy show, and I'm telling you right now, it was, the Holy Spirit was like, you're not going to this show that you're headlining. I call the comedy club owner, I cancel. She loses her mind, Michael. She's like, how dare you? You're never gonna effing come here, blah, 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 blah. Okay, hey, I love you, gotta go, boom. But I'm walking out the door, I walk back in. And then, 10 minutes later, my friends, hey, you're not coming to the show, who cares? Meet us out tonight, we're gonna have fun, don't worry about it. Guys, I love you, I'm not coming out. What are you talking about? The girl that I was hooking up with, you're a scumbag, blah, 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 hangs up. Mike, I pass out. I wake up at 3:30 in the morning to go to the bathroom. I turn my phone on because I had to shut it off. They wouldn't stop calling me. And it's another friend of ours going, hey, Vinnie, just giving you a heads up. Everybody that went to this party's dead. They all did a bump of cocaine, and and Mike, I get nauseous, and I go in the bathroom and I throw up. And I feel, because I believe, like, I don't think God kills, and he's the Alpha and the Omega, he knows everything, but he lets you do whatever you want.
Things to happen.
Free will is free will. That's why even when he made the angels and he gave Lucifer free will, that's when Lucifer was like, I want to be you. And he cast them down. That's the beauty of what God is, that he lets you know who I am. Here's all the proof. Here's the Bible. Here's the word. Here are the prophets. Here's a whole book. You choose. You pick. But I do believe, Michael, I think sometimes in life, he's like, you know what, Michael, I'm going to spare you. I'm going to spare you. But I'm telling you right now, because I know that down the road, you're going to be talking about me like we're talking in here right now, and people that are listening to this and hearing this and going, once you surrender, Mike, and it's I know the moment that you're in that hopelessness, that feeling of like, I'm not going, this is it. Like I'm where you're at, where I wouldn't kill myself, but that feeling of like empty.
You're done.
I'm just
empty.
empty.
Like you're done. You're empty.
And just having that, the Bible, what a story, just to have the freaking Bible. It's 60 books by 44 authors, right?
I didn't even know where to start with the Bible. You know, in Catholic school, you remember, we didn't read the Bible. We read the catechism.
Of course.
Priest read the gospel from the pulpit on a Sunday. You know what happened to me? The book just falls open to the book of Proverbs. So I started reading it, and it was a great way to start because it's a brilliant book.
Of course.
I'm saying, man, this guy Solomon, he's pretty smart, right?
Yeah, he's very smart.
And so it's turning me on a little bit in that way, and then I came to that verse, and man, it just stopped me cold. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's stopped me. I love that, all because of a freaking CEO who's normally supposed to be a jerk comes in, and they're normally supposed to hate you, and he gave you the book that saved your life. All right, Mike, because I have a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna let you, Mike. I want you to eat a little bit. I'm over
good.
here.
I'm good.
Asking questions. The syrup got my paper stuck.
That's all right.
You saw that? That was all stuck. What was I gonna do? Okay, you know what, Michael? All right, let me ask you a question, Michael. So, if with all the stuff that happened, if you had a time machine and you got to go back right now, is there one thing? What's the one thing, Michael? Just one decision, one thing that you would make different that you would do, if you had to pick only one.
You know, this might sound crazy, but the one regret I have in my life, a big one, is that I didn't minister to my father enough before he died. It was very hard, you know, because he was just tough in a way. He's old school, and it was very tough to get through to him. And I really carry that around, that I should have really led him to the Lord. Now, I believe he was led to the Lord because in my inefficiency in doing it, I sent a chaplain in to see him. And it was a woman. She spent 3 hours with him, and she told me they read the Bible and he accepted Christ during that time.
Thank God.
And I want to believe that. And I would pray. I have had, I don't know how many people praying for him, probably millions over the past 30 years before he went away, before he passed away. But that's a regret. The other regrets, you know, Vinnie, I had a very, very dear friend of mine, very close to me, who was killed. And I couldn't save him. And I baptized this kid. I mean, it was a bad thing. You know, Vinnie, I have to say this. One of the horrors of that life is that you make a mistake, your best friend walks you into a room, you don't walk out again. And obviously in my 20 years, I know of situations like that. And it's the one reason that I call that life an evil life. Now, I want to be clear, I'm not calling the guys evil. I was one of them. You know, the age-old question, why do good people do bad things? Doesn't necessarily make them a bad person. Who knows what, I'm not making excuses for them. We still have to be held accountable, but maybe it's your upbringing. Maybe, I mean, I see some guys that I go visit in prison when I speak to them there. How did these guys ever have a chance? The way they grew up. No father in the house, the mother doesn't know what she's doing, they're on the street, they meet with the local gangbanger, all of a sudden they're doing, doesn't mean they're bad people.
Exactly. It's their
bad
options.
influences.
It's their options.
Exactly, exactly. So, but the life is an evil lifestyle. And the reason I say this, I don't know one family of any member of that life that hasn't been totally devastated, including my own. Now, not my wife and kids, I've been able to spare them. My mother, 33 years without her husband. When she passed away in 2012, I can only describe her relationship with my dad as ugly, because she blamed him for everything that went wrong, rightfully so.
Of course.
So what goes wrong? I lose my baby sister to drugs, 27 years old, she ODs, right?
God rest her soul.
My brother, 25 years a drug addict. Vinnie, I'm gonna be honest with you. I did more damage on the street trying to protect my sister and brother than I did as part of that life. Because I used to go into some bust out joint in Queens, and I see my sister with these bust out drug addicts you lose your mind.
Oh my, I can imagine.
Lose your mind, right? But he's okay now, you know, he's okay. I mean, he's not on drugs anymore, but my other sister, 40 years old, she dies young. She was never mentally, the whole family wiped out. And every family I know.
Sorry.
You saved me. See that? I'm talking about death.
We're like, what the hell? Now, you're going to put that up? What are you doing?
That's Satan. He's around someplace.
But, and look who it was, Michael. Look who it was. Show him who it is. It's freaking Frank Sinatra.
My hero.
Yeah, there he is. Matt, what do you think? We just leave it off? Okay.
You know, it's funny. When he passed away in '98, I'll never forget where I was. I'm laying in bed, and I just heard it on the news. That's when the life was really over for me. Sinatra's dead. That's it.
It's over.
Done.
Like, I'm hanging up the towel.
Done.
So I'm sorry, Mike. Where were you?
So
were your brother?
Yeah, my brother. So the whole family's devastated, and there's things in that life that are just no good. You know, guys die for the wrong reason. You know, look, it's like anything else. We see corruption everywhere. Well, obviously, it's no different in that life. We're supposed to be honorable people, but corruption happens. People die for the wrong reasons. And in this case, this young guy really was killed for the wrong reason, no question about it. And I tried to save him and I couldn't, and it's tough to live with. It really is.
Oh, I can imagine. All right, Mike, so I want to get into what's happening in the world right now. I think the last time we spoke was on your podcast, and it was it post? I think it was post-assassination attempt, Butler, Michael, if I'm not.
I think so, yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
So. Yeah.
I'm curious. Did your family, did your dad or anybody ever work with him while he was in Manhattan?
No.
No.
No, I met him one time, and Roy Cohn was his attorney.
Okay.
And Roy was trying to represent me on one of my cases. So I went to see him, and they were in some private club. Speak to Roy for a few minutes. Donald happened to be there. I said hello. I mean, he might not even remember. He knows me now, but he may not even remember. But that was it. But we knew about him. Listen, there wasn't a contractor or developer in all of New York that didn't work with us. We control the unions. They had to work with us. Doesn't mean they were mobbed up. They just had to work with us, so they weren't going to get a building done. You know, I'll tell you how crazy these people are.
Okay.
I had a Russian partner back then. We go to Trump Towers and we buy a condo. We bought 2 units.
Okay.
$6 million. We paid him in cash, right? Donald wasn't there, but we paid him in cash. Do you know that during the Mueller investigation, the FBI came to me because my partner was a Russian and his brother was a KGB guy in Russia, right?
Oh, wow.
So they came to me and they said, Mike, we want to ask you about, you know, those condos that you and Bogatin bought back then. I said, okay, what do you want to know? He said, well, you know, you paid cash, right? I said, yeah, we paid cash. This is 40 years ago.
Yeah.
What
are you gonna do? Yeah. What are you gonna do now?
Yeah. He said, well, was Donald in the room? I said, wait a minute. I said, stop. I said, are you trying to make the Russian connection 40 years ago because I had a Russian partner and we bought the condos then? You know what I told him? I said, do me a favor. I want to say this in the Mueller investigation. Subpoena me. I want to go in there.
Yeah.
You know, they wouldn't do it.
Of course.
Of course.
40 years, Michael?
40 years ago, they tried to make that connection.
Wow.
Because my partner was Russian.
Damn, oh my, but they went back 40? That means they're digging.
This was like 82 that has happened.
Wow, that goes to show,
Yeah.
see, it goes to my point. You're doing what you're doing in your life, living that. These people are freaking insane, bro. They're trying to bury.
Vinnie, I'm going to tell you something.
God.
I have never, ever in my lifetime seen the amount of animosity towards any one guy. You would think he was like a serial rapist killer.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you know, like he's worse than anybody on the street or anywhere else. I've never seen it. These people are psycho.
Crazy.
And it's not a question of his name is Trump or O'Brien or who. Why do you hate this guy so much? What the hell did he do?
Nothing.
You know what he did? It's what he didn't do. It's because he doesn't bow down to these people, and they can't buy him. And that's the bottom line. Look, I get hammered for standing up for Trump.
Whatever.
But you know, I tell people, listen, I don't care what his name is. His policies are policies that work for me. There are only 2 genders as far as I'm concerned. There's not 10. You know, and I know people might get mad.
You're being weird, Mike. There's more than 2.
Weird. You know, I'm not for gender-affirming surgery in minors, mutilation without parents' consent. I want closed borders. I'm not against immigration. Let Congress get off their ass and put a proper deal together so these people can come in the right way. Nothing wrong with that. But now we need our borders closed. I mean, we have to have a legal system that works.
Yeah.
So all of these things, whether it was Trump or anybody else, that's what I stand for. People, you can't even talk to them anymore.
It's insane.
Insane.
And now that we're seeing everything come out, with all the Russia, with all the impeachments, with that Obama spying and everything, like it is freaking intense. With the voting, with the Fulton County and the counting ballots, and it's like you're right, and I get it. I get how now second term. That's what I want to ask you about the second term. But I could see how people, because they expect perfection now, Mike. Like if you're Trump supporting, you support him, and he got in, which I believe he was exactly necessary for that moment in time to come in and disrupt the 100%. Whole thing. Him saying fake news to Jim Acosta 100%. Made people go, wait a minute. Remember the room? The room gasped, Michael. The room was like, how dare you? And he flipped it upside down. And I understand. He went through the first 4 years was all Russia, you know, just a horrible, that's all it was. They spent millions and millions of dollars trying to get him. Hillary and all them started it with the DNC. And then he loses in 2020, I think, with COVID and Fauci and everything. To
100%.
me, my opinion, all on purpose. Nothing is by accident with these people. And then now he's in, Michael. I get it. They want everything. Oh, he's a puppet. He's this. He's that. What if you could? What's your favorite thing? I think I'm pretty sure. I'm going to assume it's the border being completely shut down. It's nothing, zero. What's one thing, Michael? If you could give him some advice to kind of shift him or change to give more positive light, what do you think it would be?
Very simple. He's his own worst enemy in many ways. You know, he has to learn how to be more unifying. I believe this. Well, forget the fact that we know there was fraud in the 2020. 100%.
Yeah,
I mean, they showed it.
No doubt.
But I think at some point in time, Trump had to get up there and say, listen, I don't care what Pelosi calls me. I don't care what this person, I'm not stooping to that level. I'm everybody's president. I want to bring you all together. I want to do the best for the country. And stop this stupid rhetoric that comes out of his mouth.
Yeah.
And if I was his consigliere, I would say, Donald, just listen up.
Yeah.
Be more unifying. I know you're a New Yorker.
Yeah.
I know you speak up. Well, this is how we are. You know, we fight back. I get it. But you got to be a little bit more diplomatic. Try to bring people together. Don't stoop to their level. It's like I said when he called what's her name, Tucker Carlson, low IQ, and he called. I said, you don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Even if they are, you don't need to do that.
Yeah.
You know, and I know Tucker Carlson. He's not low IQ.
Yeah. He's very smart.
He may be going on a different direction, but he's not low IQ.
Yeah.
Candace Owens, I don't like the woman at all. I think she's trying to, you know, I don't. She's just very hateful.
Yeah.
She's going after everybody, but she's not low IQ. She's a very smart woman.
Very smart.
No doubt, and all those people. But he doesn't need to stoop to that level and go. He's the president.
Yeah.
Who cares what they're saying about you?
Yeah.
You know.
I agree.
And if he would just tone down the rhetoric and do your job, and make things work, you'd be much better off.
I understand, and I love that you said that, Michael, because I had this conversation with a friend yesterday because I was prepping for this, and I'm saying this question out loud, and it's like, being a New Yorker, being East Coast, and if you think about it, from 2016, Russian asset, Hitler, you know, dictator, I can see how that would make, especially being him, especially being his brash attitude, it's venom. It's coming out because they tried to kill him. They tried to kill him 3 times. Yeah.
They tried to bankrupt him and his family.
Yes, all of them.
You know what it is to go through it all? Look, I had 7 indictments. He had 5. He almost caught up to me. But you know what it is to go through that?
Oh, I can imagine.
The money you got to spend, the aggravation, everything else. What they did to that guy was so uncalled for. I mean, and you know what? These people, I always said this in my life, and you know this.
Yeah.
It's not strong people you have to worry about. It's weak people that are given power that they can't handle. These were the kids on the street that got bullied, and all of a sudden they got power, and they don't know how to handle it. It goes to their head. That's exactly what these people are doing. You can sense it in a minute.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not a question of being, I hear, you're in Trump's pocket. What pocket? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You know?
That guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm worried about my country.
Yeah.
I got 7 kids, 7 grandchildren. I'm worried about the future of this country. I'm going to say this, people are going to get mad. I don't care.
Whatever.
I believe God saved America. Trump is not a savior, but God saved America by getting rid of them right now and putting Trump in office. I believe that 100%.
100%.
Look where we were going.
Yep.
And I want to tell you another thing. I know this like the back of my hand. I know the law. I hate it, but I know it because I defended myself my entire life.
Yeah.
You know, I had 3 racketeering cases. One brought on by Giuliani, another one in the Eastern District, another one in the state of Florida, right? 3. I know how to I know that statute inside out and upside down. Vinnie, I will take a lie detector test. You can sit me down against any U.S. attorney, any prosecutor, any lawyer. The evidence that they pulled up against Biden and his son and his family, okay, that the GOP had, the suspicious bank accounts, the $27 million that came in, the text messages, the emails, I'm telling you, there was more evidence to indict him on racketeering than there was to indict me. And I beat all my cases.
Fact.
Fact. It was there, crystal clear, and they let him walk.
Yeah.
The guy was a treasonous guy. He sold out the country as vice president. He peddled his vice presidency, and they let him walk. And Obama's just as bad. I don't care if you're a Republican, a Democrat, or anybody in between. And this money that they're stealing from us, you realize that billions and billions of dollars, and they walk away.
Yeah.
I want to grab everybody in this country. Here's what we do. We can't do it, but here's what we do.
Go ahead.
Tell everybody, stop paying your taxes. What are you going to lock up, 350 million people?
No.
You'll bring these bastards to their knees.
Yep.
Because all they do is rob our money
Yep.
and put it in every other place that they can put it, and their pockets.
Yep.
You stop paying taxes, you'll see the whole thing. But we all got to do it.
And I wish, Michael, I said that years ago about gas. If we don't like gas prices, and that's why they have everybody so divided, you know, with race and gender and, you know, status with money. If we all just, as Americans, an email went out and it's like, hey, listen, we stand united, nobody get gas tomorrow. One day, Michael, what happens to gas?
Kill him. Price is going to come down, without a doubt.
Without a doubt. But this is the thing with Americans. You know, some guys, 2 million are going to say, I don't give a damn. I gotta go to work. Another couple million.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna do. But we have the power to
We
do
have the
whatever hell
power,
we
but you know
want.
what it is, Vin? You can't blame people. You and I have the luxury of watching the news, staying abreast of everything,
Yeah,
paying attention.
we have to.
These poor people out there, who's trying to work 2 jobs to put food on their table, they're worried about their kids, they don't have time to absorb it. So,
Yeah.
I grew up a Democrat, he must be okay, and they vote Democrat.
Yeah.
They don't know.
You're right.
And you can't even blame them. Because this is not the only thing on their minds. We can live it. We can see it, we can watch it. Because I believe if people are educated enough, they're not going to vote for these idiots. I see what's going on in California. Let me tell you something. This Newsom, what an atrocious guy. This guy can't tell the truth if his life depended on it.
Nope. He's a slither. He's a very.
He's a bad guy.
He's a very, very bad guy. Like you could
Bad
see.
guy.
And again, I'm not judging. I know that you're not, but you could just see from the fruit of what he says and how he acts and his mannerisms and just literally lying through his teeth. And it drives me a little bit crazy. I know Trump, obviously, went after Bill Maher because Bill Maher in the last show, Michael, he didn't go after him. He's like, you're my friend. I got to tell you, let go of the rail. But it's like, you got to hold them more accountable. It's like, I would stop and say, hey, listen, with all due respect, everything that you're saying is a lie.
100%.
It's a lie. The state is and he goes, yeah, but we got the 4th largest economy in the world. Okay, that's fine. Put that aside.
That's not, and that's not his doing.
It ain't your doing. Yeah, it's all
Kidding me?
the Silicon Valley and all the guys that are
Exactly.
making the freaking multi.
And he's chasing them out.
They're all leaving.
He's chasing them
They're
all
all
out.
leaving. They're all leaving. It drives me bananas, Michael. Matt, how much time we got left?
51 minutes out.
Okay, we're good. Because I want to have some fun too, Michael. But I want to ask 51. So we're gonna go till 120, 115. Okay, Michael, you're good.
I'm good,
Okay,
yeah.
beautiful. Okay, so I don't go obscene. Okay, so. All right, Mike. So AI, all this Chat GBT, Claude, all that stuff. Are you using it? Are you incorporating it? Are you trying to stay like my mom and everybody that I know that's old school? They're like, nah, I'm not. I'm not trying to do. She's slowly starting to do it. But are you using it at all? Are you?
Let me tell you how brilliant I am.
Okay.
I don't know the first thing about AI.
Okay.
But my whole team is so up on it.
They know.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
And
so-
they're doing a lot of things.
Okay, so are you Mike? Are you Googling or are you using ChatGPT or any of that at all?
We're creating a platform right now.
Okay.
I partnered up with a company in Germany, good friends of mine, and they're creating an AI platform that, I found out when you're dead, you're not dead anymore. Everything that I've ever done in my life is fed into this platform, and we're going to have a platform that you could ask any question to AI, and it's me answering about anything in life, business,
Anything.
anything.
It's you.
It's
just
me.
in a whole AI.
Yes, I listened to some of it. I can't even believe it. My AI person is smarter than me.
Like answering
saying-
stuff that you would never. even.
No, I'm saying, where did the guy get? But you know what? But it's the way I would answer. It really is. I'm saying. So anyway, yes, we're very up on it. In my wine company, they used AI to make a sommelier out of me. So if you call up, and you want anything about
Are
my
you
wine,
serious?
yeah.
So it's you saying this if you're gonna be
Anything
eating
you
this,
wanna
you're gonna be
know.
drinking
Yeah,
that. That's
yeah.
so freaking wild.
Yeah, so we're really up on it, and we're using it in a big way. But I don't know anything about it. It's
Yeah,
not me.
yeah.
I say, hey, I'm going to be 75 years old in May.
Yeah.
You think I'm going to May this month? You think I'm going to learn about AI?
Yeah. Well, I kind of respect that you're just keeping it like let everybody else do it because
Let 'em
you're
do
living. Because Mike, it is. I mean, at the end, it seems like once because Mike, I get into arguments with ChatGPT a lot. Like, bro, this thing talks back.
Yeah.
Like once this attitude, somebody right now at the office, I'm yelling at it, and one of Alicia walks in and she goes, "You need to be careful." And she's being that serious. She's like, "Because one day that thing's gonna be in a robot and it's gonna remember the way that you're talking to it."
Hey, let me tell you something. I just got a email from Amazon. They said, don't get scared. The robot is going to be delivering your
No, it
package.
didn't.
Yes.
No, it didn't.
I'm telling you.
A robot showed up.
No, it didn't show up yet, but they're preparing us.
Oh man! Oh, they're getting you ready because I
Yeah.
saw a drone. I saw a drone.
Robots, they're telling us. I got like 3 or 4 emails. So I want to tell my wife, don't be scared if you see some
Some
friggin'
robot. And they're
come
going to be
through.
in the house sooner or later. Everything
Yes.
that we've seen from Demolition Man, remember all that? All that
Yes.
stuff with Wesley Snipes and Sylvester Stallone? The next thing is going to be like iRobot. It's going to be in the house, Michael, doing your errands, doing your chores. And by the way, I've been seeing a lot of them malfunction. There was one in China where they're having some like school day where there's a big parade outside. Michael, this one, it's
Collapsed?
walking, it starts doing karate chops on everybody. People are losing their
Really?
minds. Yeah, so Mike, I want to try something. So my AI, like I've been telling you, so this is ChatGPT. I'm I'm gonna ask it a couple questions, and I want to see if I can ask you a question. I've never done this on the show before, but where's my mic? Is my mic good? So this is my chat GBT. I'm gonna see if it's gonna recognize you, Michael, and let's have some fun with this.
Okay.
Hey, are you there?
I'm right here, ready to be your Data Donnie whenever you need.
Data Donnie. Hey, let me explain something to you. I'm sitting here with Michael Franzese. Do me a favor, just to make us feel like home. Talk to us in like a Brooklyn accent right now.
Oh, you got it, Vinnie. Michael, imagine us sitting on a corner in Brooklyn, maybe a little cappuccino in hand. Let's get real, let's get comfortable, just like we're chatting on the stoop.
Okay, now relax. Okay, if you had to ask Michael a question, what question do you want to ask Michael? And before you ask the question, what do you know about Michael Franzese?
Well, Vinnie, Michael Franzese is a former mobster, right? He turned his life around, left the mafia life, and now he's big on sharing his story. So if I had to ask him something, I'd ask Michael, let's say someone's got a red wine situation on a shirt. What's the best way to clean that up? No evidence left behind.
By the way, you didn't ask it with a mafia accent. I told you, have a tough guy accent.
All right, Vinnie, here we go. Hey, Michael, if someone's got a little red wine on his shirt, like it's a real situation, what's your best tip to make it disappear?
Make them
Like
all
an
dis.
app.
Make the guy disappear. Get rid of it all.
That wasn't Vinny, that was Mike. Okay, we gotta go. Mike, how crazy is that?
Crazy.
How crazy?
I never seen that done before.
You could
that
ask
is
it
crazy.
to talk to you the way you wanted to talk, but it's just asking its own questions, and Mike, I'm telling you right now, the future is going to be insane when that thing's in a robot and it goes, hey, remember that one time that you told me to shut up? Well, guess what? Now you can't leave. You can't leave the house.
I'm telling you, when you're dead, you're not dead anymore.
That's insane,
you
though.
You can be that alive again.
That's what.
I mean, think about it. Think about it. You got a robot that looks like you, and everything that comes out of his mouth is you.
And it looks like you, and it
Looks
it's a
like
skin.
you. Yes.
Are you a fan of it? You like it?
I don't know, man. I'll be
It's not
honest
gonna
with
be
you.
me.
I don't know. I can tell you what, though. In the next 5-6 years, all the millionaires are going to be involved with AI. It's
1,000%.
everything is.
It's inevitable. It's
That's it.
inevitable. All right, so Michael, is that
crazy.
wild?
That's
is that
wild.
wild? Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Not,
We're
not,
sitting on
not,
the
yeah,
stoop.
but now you made a problem for me. I'm hooked on that already. I just heard it once. I'm
And now
going to be
Mike-
playing with this all day long.
Yeah, but all you have to do, Mike, if you just say, hey, ChatGPT, and he turns on, you say, this is how I want you to talk. Like, there's an English guy, I have a female, but if I want him to talk like he's from the stoop and from Brooklyn, he'll talk to you like that all day, which is wild. All right, so Michael, I have two more things that I wanted to ask you. Okay, so Michael, so we're gonna do a scene from a movie at the end, which I can't wait. We're gonna be in character, Mike. No funny business.
Okay.
Even though the word funny is in it.
So I can't laugh?
You can't, Michael. I want you to sell
I'll try.
this, Mike. Once you find out what the scene is, I want you to really put yourself there because I know you've seen it. But I want us to. I'll set the scene and then we'll go from there. And John has to be. You have your script over there. Okay. So this is first because we're wrapping up, Michael. I'm gonna give you a list. I only wrote 13 names. I'm gonna give you the name. You give me the first word that comes to your head to describe them. If you say a couple more words, I'm not gonna be upset because I know you're Italian. You might go in a little bit. All right. Robert De Niro.
Lost his mind.
Bingo. I knew you were gonna go. Okay. Gavin Newsom.
Horror show.
Horror show. Frank Sinatra.
Love him.
Elon Musk.
Love him too.
Vladimir Putin.
Iron Man.
Stephen A. Smith.
Love him too.
Marlon Brando.
Godfather.
Rudy Giuliani.
Good friend. You believe it?
Is he really a good friend
Yes,
now?
yes.
Oh, God bless him. He's
Praying for him in the hospital.
Yeah,
now.
he got pneumonia, but he's coming out.
okay, yeah.
Good for him. Tiger Woods.
Brilliant.
I love it. John Gotti.
Difficult.
I know you're gonna love these last three. Kamala Harris.
Clown.
Bingo. Zoran Mamdani.
God. Dead.
All right, last one. I'm very curious about this one because I know how I feel. Chris Cuomo.
Fool.
I can't even complain about that one. All right, Michael, are you ready? So I highlighted your scenes For everybody that doesn't know, this is the scene in Goodfellas. Are you ready? It's at the scene when Tommy and Henry, they're all at the lounge, they're all at the restaurant, they're at the table, they're laughing, having a good time. Tommy just told the story, the bing, pow, boom, and now they're laughing. This is the funny how scene.
Yeah.
And so, Mav, is that good for?
Just a little.
Put it down, yeah.
Yeah, Mike, you can hold it, Michael. You can hold it as long as you hold it like this.
Like this.
Yeah. All right, so Michael, remember.
Exact
you're
words?
Tommy, you're Tommy, exact words,
Okay.
and you can look at me when you do them. And Michael, remember, you know the scene with
Yeah.
Tommy, he's very, very serious.
Best
Okay.
scene, one of the best scenes.
Oh, I
ever.
love it. And then remember where you're coming in, and Maverick, give us the action.
Action.
You're really funny.
Funny, what do you mean I'm funny? Funny how?
No, I mean just the way that you told the story. What? You're funny. You're a funny guy.
Like funny like how? Like I'm a clown? Like maybe I amuse you in some way? How am I funny?
No, it's just the way you told the story.
Oh, what's wrong with you? You making fun of the way I talk now? Funny how? Explain it to me. How am I funny?
Tommy, no, you got it all wrong.
Oh, Anthony, hold on. He's a big boy. You said it. Tell me what you mean. How am I funny? Funny? What's so funny about me?
I don't know. It's just the way you told the story. What?
Well, explain it to me. I mean, do I amuse you? Am I here to amuse you? Like I'm here like I'm a clown for you? What do you mean funny? Explain it to me. You know who I am. What do you mean funny?
Get the hell out of here, Tommy.
I got you. I got you. You're gonna crack under pressure. I can tell, man. Oh, good. You're shivering, mother.
By the way, it was better without the script because we got the guy. But Michael, thank you so much. I can't explain how much I appreciate you. You literally landed and you came here to do this, and I appreciate you more than you know. God bless you. God bless your family. And hey, I want you guys at home. Forget about it. Mike, tell them to forget about it.
Forget about it. And I mean forget about it.
Thank you, sir.
Good.